This episode is brought to you by Dead Man's Wire, the new film from Roquet Entertainment. Dead Man's Wire is the incredible true story of the 1977 kidnapping that turned an aspiring entrepreneur into an outlaw folk hero. Directed by legendary filmmaker Gus Van Sant, Dead Man's Wire stars Bill Skarsgård, Dacre Montgomery, Carrie Elways, and Myha'la, with Coleman Domingo and Al Pacino. In select theaters January 9th, everywhere January 16th.
Yeah, I don't know. I understand it. Like, I was watching that scene with Lawrence when, remember, it's like in the trailer when Leatherface, the actor's now like in the makeup and everything. And he's like, I'm a transvestite lesbian. I was like, oh, okay. Before listening to today's exciting episode, I just want to introduce myself. It's Dr. Andrew Rimby. I am the host of the Ivory Tower Boiler Room, an arts and culture podcast. I'm so excited that you're listening or watching. Please make sure that you follow us on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you're getting the podcast. Please review us. Please share the podcast. It really means a lot. The more exposure the podcast has, the more I can book exciting guests. There's a Patreon. Ad-free episodes are on the Patreon. I also release bonus content on there. I talk about our book club, which is free. We're discussing on February 1st, Wuthering Heights, in honor of the Emerald Fennell adaptation that's coming out. So if you want to join the book club, it's on Zoom. It's at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just message me. I'll send you the Zoom link. Please make sure you're also following us on social media. We have a new TikTok account. It's Dr. Andrew Rimby. Long story short, I think TikTok could not handle the spicy queer male content that I was putting out there. So I had to create a new TikTok. I'm going to be extra careful now. Trust me. Also, Instagram, Facebook, Ivory Tower Boiler Room. I'll see you on there. And now, here's today's exciting episode. Welcome, Ivory Tower Boiler Room and True Crime and Academia listeners, to a cross-collab episode with someone who I haven't sat in the Zoom recording with for a long time, Miss Mary DiPipi. Hi, Mary.
Hello, Andrew. My gosh, it has been a long time since we've been on a Zoom recording together.
I know. It just gives me such good nostalgic feels. So if you didn't know, Mary has released a 2-part Ed Gein series on True Crime and Academia that you have to listen to. I was obsessed with the background information, and we're going to give our thoughts on the Monster series. Don't worry. Everyone's been asking us. I've been asking Mary her thoughts. People have been reaching out to me. So I just want to read a few emails because we thank you for reaching out to us. We love it. I know Mary loves when people comment on social media, and we love to hear from you all. So someone actually from PETA, the press officer of PETA, reached out to us. So here's what Wes had to say. Hi there. I saw that you covered the hit Netflix show Monster, the Ed Gein story, and thought you and your listeners might be interested in hearing about PETA's new billboard with a macabre message. That wearing leather made from the skin of cows is just as grisly and cruel as Ed Gein's practice of making clothing, accessories, and furniture out of human skin. PETA is bringing the gruesome graphic to Ed Gein's hometown of Plainfield, Wisconsin, to point out that leather is also someone's skin and urge shoppers to opt for fashionable, cruelty-free vegan materials instead.
Oh my God, I love it.
And then there's a logo. There's a image she sent me.
Oh my gosh.
It says, "Don't be Ed Gein. Leather is someone's skin. Please shop vegan."
God, I can't. I love it.
Right? But who knew that?
That's such an appropriate use of Ed Gein.
Yeah. Well, and who knew that PETA would be like jumping on board with a marketing scheme?
Exactly.
I just love it. So
give that person in marketing a raise. As a marketing professional, give that person a raise.
Yeah. So thank you for that, Wes. And then Dr. Hector Rodriguez reached out, who I think, definitely we're going to do some kind of episode with. Hopefully, we'll do a cross collab. But he said, meaning your episode, Mary. Your recent episode, Mary, exploring the chilling legacy of Ed Gein and his impact on popular culture was a captivating listen. The connections you made between true crime, classic horror, and psychological complexity, especially with references to Psycho and Silence of the Lambs, were thought-provoking and made me reflect on the intricate relationship between mental health and storytelling in these genres. And then he goes on to explain how he integrates clinical neuroscience, psychiatry, and holistic wellness into his practice. And he does like trauma informed mental health care. So
Oh,
he's
wow.
very interested in exploring mental health narratives, specifically with true crime cases. So, you know,
Love.
we'll take this off air with our how we're gonna get him on the podcast,
Yeah.
but I wanted you to hear that from
Oh, I
a
love that.
fan of
Thank you
your
all.
series.
Thank you. Thank you. That
Yep.
was so sweet. I love
Yeah.
that.
And then we had someone who is going to come on to do a little more deep dive with not just Ed Gein, but like the queer narratives around recent TV shows like Ed Gein, Boots, and Overcompensating. And his name is Colin Carmen. And he said in an email, Ed Gein bummed me out. So he definitely has some negative views of what Ryan Murphy does with the narrative. So I feel like,
Yes.
spurring and being inspired by what Colin said. Mary, what did you think of Monster, the Ed Gein story?
I feel like with every Ryan Murphy production, I start off really enjoying it, thinking, okay, this is great. And then somewhere, either the beginning of the middle, like somewhere in that middle section, I fall off and I just stop watching. That, that goes for literally everything that Ryan Murphy that I've seen of his. So that's yeah, so that basically happened for me with Ed Gein. I understand that when you are trying to make a I don't want to call it because it's not a documentary, but it's I guess like a live reenactment dramatization, I guess is a better characterization. Heavy emphasis on the dramatization. Um, yeah, a lot of things were blown out of proportion. I mean, he did take things that were being said and things that were in the news. So, I mean, for example, the woman, I believe it's Adeline, the redhead that he dates and
Hmm.
talks to about, all the horrific murder stuff and the I forget what her name is. I don't really care to know. But basically, I called her the Buffalo Barbara, I think is what I called her in that episode. Um, the Nazi woman.
Oh
But
my goodness. Oh,
yeah.
that was just. Wait, how truthful was it that he was like deeply immersed and an admirer of Nazism?
I mean, from my understanding, they found and it wasn't necessarily the Nazism, it was like the body horror, it seems more
Oh.
so. So like not so much that she was inflicting such harm on Jewish people. It was the harm itself. Like for him, I don't think it really mattered who the victim was. It was just the fact that she was committing such horrific acts against humanity that I
Ugh.
think he was intrigued by
Hmm.
for whatever unfortunate psychological reasons.
Yeah.
Um,
But I
but
agree
yeah,
with you with Ryan Murphy. I feel like his like recent series, any new series he does, like it's so captivating at the beginning and then it's like, why didn't you just stick with this? Like why didn't you just stop it short? Why did you have to
mhm.
continue? Like just end it when it was interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
And
So,
yeah.
mhm.
But well, that was kind of like, did you see his American Horror Story Delicate with Kim Kardashian?
That was one of the ones that I was actually able to watch, but I really had to force myself.
Yeah.
And to be fair, when American Horror Story first came out, like streaming, like DVR was kind of really the thing. So like if I didn't remember to record the season, like I wasn't watching it. Like now I can just easily binge if I decide I want to and not have to wait. Um, but I did have to force myself to watch that. But luckily I was able to stream. So because I missed so many when they came out initially, I wound up just streaming most of them
Yeah.
after the fact,
Yeah.
after it had already ended.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I feel like he's also just really into shock porn. Like he
yeah.
loves like at the beginning, you're right. It was so inventive. Like the DVR was around, like, Murder House was what, 2011? I don't
Maybe even
know.
earlier than that.
Yeah, that it was very innovative, and
Mhm.
we hadn't really seen something like that on a network in a oh 2011. And like even Coven, I just feel like eventually it gets to a point where I think he starts to really want you to be shocked and create a spectacle that it becomes almost it can verge on nonsensical.
He loses the story almost. Like,
No.
I feel like things get too grandiose or like just obscene that you get to a point where like really like all this buildup was great and then it's like you get there and you're like
Yeah.
okay, that's
I
it,
I
like
know.
this is where we went,
I know.
okay, and then you feel like you what was the it was the circus season, I forget what the name of that
Oh, freak show.
freak show. That was one that I was really trying to make sure that I was watching on a weekly basis, like when it came out live on TV. And then I feel like the ending, like I literally just was like, now I feel like I have to put myself through the rest of this treacherous episode because that was absolutely horrible. I hate this, but I've come this far, so now I've got to finish it. But then, felt absolutely terrible after.
Yeah. I mean, I will say I thought the actor who played Ed Gein did a wonderful acting job. Like he really captured, you know, the nuances and the just disturbing, uncanny nature of Ed Gein. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, he was incredible. Him and Laurie Metcalf, his mother. Excellent. I think
All
the
of the
actors, the
awards.
actors were great.
Yes, the actors were absolutely amazing. Like, I would not change a thing about their performances, especially Charlie Human. I always
Yeah,
get his last name
that
wrong,
sounds
but
that sounds right.
love him. I have to say, like, the one thing that was difficult was especially for me in the beginning, was trying to separate him from Ed Gein
Mm.
because I watched Charlie in Sons of Anarchy, and Sons of Anarchy Charlie, very sexy
He
man.
could get it. Yeah. Well, he
Oh
could even
yes.
get it as Ed Gein in that bra and panties.
But knowing that he's like that
Well,
scene is
yeah. Yeah. I mean, he has a sex appeal, but it's definitely a disturbing kink.
yeah.
Like, even my students were like, "Are you watching that Ed Gein series?" They're like, from the first shot when, he's
Mhm.
pleasuring himself, they were like, we were disturbed right away. And I think that I actually like what happens with seeing how he inspired Hitchcock with Psycho. I actually liked the Norman
Mhm.
Bates kind of narrative.
I did
Um,
too.
yeah, I wasn't as much of I mean, I'm not really a Leatherface fan in the first place, so maybe that's
Mhm.
why. Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre doesn't really do it for me. Like that's not my
Yeah.
idea of the slasher film. I like Scream. I like more of
Mhm.
the Michael Myers kind of slashers, but yeah, I don't know. I understand it. Like I was watching that scene with Lawrence when remember it's like in the trailer when Leatherface, the actor's now like in the makeup and everything, and he's like, I'm a transvestite lesbian. I was like, okay. And
Oh my
then
God.
and I feel like Ryan Murphy really does, at least Ryan Murphy knows how to create controversy. Like,
Yes.
and I swear he does it on purpose. Like, he has to be doing this on purpose. This holiday season, I'm so excited to talk about my favorite academic publisher, Broadview Press. Broadview Press has just incredible anthologies, classic books, history of literature, philosophy, you name it in the humanities, Broadview Press has you covered. So I've had guests on here like Dr. Jeffrey Andrew Weinstock to talk about his pop culture for beginners book, his mad scientist guide to composition. He's an incredible horror gothic literary scholar. So definitely listen to the podcast I did with him. I had a vampire literature discussion, a wonderful Wizard of Oz conversation. So always so many exciting Broadview Press guests that I have on, and I have a few new episodes coming out soon this holiday season, all about how to teach writing and composition. So look out for them. And there's a few books that I definitely want to highlight. So make sure you have on your radar Broadview Press's new anthology of science fiction, a book about original inquiry, a guide to research for undergraduates. I mean, when I'm teaching my students the research essay, definitely I could use that book. Good Reasoning Matters, a guide to critical thinking in a digital age. Okay, well, I hope to talk to all of these editors, but yes, we definitely need critical thinking in this digital age. I keep saying we need to have courses in college for social media literacy to understand what is going on these apps. So that's called Good Reasoning Matters. And then the last book is Solving the Puzzle, A Student's Guide to Historical Research and Writing. These are all incredible books to assign your students, specifically in any kind of literary or humanities research-based course, which almost every humanities course now is research-based. Also, Broadview Press is interested in hearing from librarians. So if you're a librarian or you know a librarian, please take down this information. There is a new subscription called Broadview Digital Bookshelves, which gives you access to over 450 critical editions of literary classics from Beowulf to Virginia Woolf, all for one affordable price. Again, that's over 450 editions of literary classics. Go to ebooks at broadviewpress.com. So if you're even just a classic literature lover, check out Broadview Digital Bookshelves. Okay, I hope you all enjoy Broadview Press, and I have a 20% off code for you all. It is Ivory Tower, right? Ivory Tower at the checkout, and you will receive 20% off all Broadview Press orders.
Are you a fan of classic Hollywood movies?
Are you a fan of queer cinema?
Then do we have the podcast for you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Christian Garcia.
And I'm Luke Delmar.
And we are your hosts of That Old Gay Classic Cinema, where we take a look at some of the greatest films of all time and analyze them through a queer theoretical lens.
Let's be honest. LGBTQIA plus people have been a part of Hollywood since its inception, and this podcast celebrates those artists and entertainers of yesteryear while also taking a closer look at the queer-coded characters and stories in classic Hollywood films long before queer representation entered the mainstream.
So follow us down the road of classic cinema as we give you a guide to some of the films that touched our hearts, brains, and even gave us courage to be ourselves.
You can listen to That Old Gay Classic Cinema wherever you get your podcasts, and be sure to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.
All right, listeners, we're ready for our close-up.
I agree. I mean, I think that's honestly, I think that's his kink a little bit, honestly.
Is what, dividing the audience?
Yeah, and like you were mentioning earlier, like the shock factor, like, and doesn't really care one way or another, good, bad, ugly, like, great. I want it all.
Yeah.
But
And I feel like it's really rare for him to speak out about his series. Like, does he do a lot of
Yeah.
interviews?
Not to my knowledge. If
Hmm.
anything, like I've only ever heard people at least wanting to talk to him when the current season of American Horror Story ends and they want to know what the new season is going to be
Mm.
about and if there's any going to be like, if he's going to give any clues.
Yeah. Well, we do have clues that Ariana Grande's in the new one.
Oh, I did not hear about that. I heard
Yeah.
that maybe Sarah's back.
Yeah, she's back. Jessica Lange's back. Angela
Okay,
Bassett's back.
yes.
Kathy Bates is back. Basically everyone. Emma Roberts is back. And then Ariana Grande has been added to the cast. And it's taking place filming in New York City and New Jersey. So
I'm
in our
intri-
backyard.
yeah, I'm intrigued to see like what type of storyline he's going for there and how he's going to fit his supernatural angle. And I mean, a lot of people have said like or speculate that all of the seasons are connected. So again, this is just
Mm,
adding another layer as to figuring out like okay, how are also these different series intertwining?
yeah. Well, like I wonder if he's going to try to combine Scream Queens with Coven.
That would be a good one.
Because
That would make
Roberts would
sense.
be the through line there.
Right.
Like maybe she actually was, in Scream Queens, like um she had magical powers. I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
I would want that to happen because I think to me, Scream Queens was really interesting. And like Jamie Lee Curtis in that.
Hmm.
I thought that was a well done series. I mean, I loved what he did with Pose. I thought Pose was incredible.
Hmm.
Like I definitely enjoy Ryan Murphy's storylines. I think he has really creative ideas. I will say though, I prefer Mike Flanagan's gothic
Yes.
tone when it
I
comes to
agree.
like a gothic sense.
Hmm. I do too. I
Yeah,
prefer if that's what I'm looking for, I look for Mike Flanagan. I don't.
yeah. Cuz like Mike Flanagan sits with it and has you sit in suspense where I feel like what we've seen Ryan Murphy, he's good at the out of the box outrageous storylines, but he's not really good at just sitting in the uncomfortability for a long time.
Hmm.
Like just
Exactly.
sitting in suspense. Everything like even with Ed Gein, like I thought the first few episodes were so suspenseful, which is what I really was interested. The bar um owner, I thought
Yes.
her storyline was interesting. I thought every time he was at like the soda shop was interesting.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, once it got to like him and the hunters and like the garage and yeah, it
Hmm.
got so like I knew it was going to be gory, but it just do we have to see all that? Like, did we have to like can the necrophilia just be implied? Like, do we have to actually see necrophilia?
And to be fair, like, I mean, I don't know if this was something, I can't remember if this was something that Ed Gein ever admitted to. It was nothing, he was never really tried for that,
Yeah.
or at least he was never convicted. So, like, there's not a lot of proof that that did actually happen. Yes, there is a lot of speculation. And like I said, I'm not 100% sure if he said that after the fact, but like, there's no physical proof that
Yes.
he technically ever did that. And so therefore, I think a lot of that gets
Yeah.
sensationalized.
Oh,
Like,
Ryan Murphy loves to take one kernel of, you know, a possible truth and expand it into um his narrative. But and I will say, yeah, that's his creative liberty. Like I'm not saying don't,
yeah.
you know, expound and create new scenarios that aren't historically accurate. It's just it's difficult because I think the general public has a really hard time distinguishing a docu-series and a faux docu-series.
Hmm.
And
Like
they
there
like
kind of needs to be.
conflate the two.
Exactly. I mean, like, and also I don't think like I don't remember or recall seeing Ryan Murphy ever claiming, that what he was showing you was 100% accurate. Like I said, I mean, there are things that he is touching on, but yes, he's also conflating them or erring on the side of this fits a storyline better. Like example for the relationship that he has with Adeline. Um, Apparently they only like hung out a couple of times in a few months period. Like they had known each other for a very long time. But that
Mm,
was something that the news outlets kind of conflated
yeah.
and said like, "Oh, there was this
Sorry, I
long
thought Ed Gein
relationship."
just walked in because my husband loves to do the mother voice. This holiday season, not only am I wearing as many holiday sweaters as I can, but I'm reading as much as I can. I've made a commitment for my holiday New Year's resolution, which is read as much as I can in my free time. So, of course, I'm holding the Gay and Lesbian Review's new magazine for the holiday season. It is called Ethnographic Journeys, and it just covers so many exciting topics. Okay, it covers the Two Spirit journey, it covers caste and gender in India. It covers gender identities in Native African societies, culture clash in South Africa. So many wonderful film, TV reviews. If you have never gotten your hands on the Gay and Lesbian Review, you have some catching up to do. So I'm so happy because I have a promo code you can all use. It is ITBR Choice. You get a free issue of the magazine. So make the November December issue your free magazine issue. And those over at the Gay and Lesbian Review has shared really exciting news. Until February 15th, they are accepting applications for their writers and artists grant. So the Gay and Lesbian Review is asking all writers and artists out there to bring their perspective, ideas, and voices to the magazine to help support emerging and unpublished LGBTQ writers, thinkers, scholars, and artists. How can you apply? Go to glreview.org. While you're there, make sure you get your hands on their new issue of their magazine. The GNLR is an incredible space for history, culture, politics, LGBTQ themed. It's where I get my book recommendations, my film recommendations, my TV recommendations, shows that are happening in New York City that are queer themed. Let's just say I'm about to see Messy White Gaze, and I know, actually, my friend who I've had on the podcast just wrote a review on it, and it's going to come out soon. So keep your eyes out. Remember, ITBR Choice, promo code. Use it when you subscribe to either the print or the online edition. Here, wait, come. Do it. You have to do it. Wait, here. He's going to say it in the microphone. Hello, mother. He's so good. Okay.
It's really
But
good.
like, have you seen those TikToks go off of just like boyfriends and husbands saying hello,
Mhm.
mother?
Yeah.
And I'm like, how can they all do it? I can't even do it. I sound horrible doing it.
Oh my god.
I know. He did it. He did it before it was cool. I know. Is Steve doing that around the house?
No.
Oh, okay.
Steve's not into
Oh no, just
That's
just my guy, got a little, some screws are loose here in North Jersey. No, I'm just kidding. But sorry, you know. I think though, yeah. What would you rate this out of 10 as a series?
It's hard because like to give it on a whole, I feel like I'm taking away from certain elements that were done really well.
Yeah.
Um,
I thought the scenery was done really well.
yes, the scenery was done really well. I think the going back and forth, as sometimes it did bother me because I felt like it took me a little too much out of what was happening, just because there was so much that to
Yeah.
digest, even though it was like could be just a scene long. the going back and forth between the movies that he technically inspired the killers for versus what was actually, what had happened and things like that. That, as much as I loved it, because like I said, it really did add to it.
Mm-hmm.
The going back and forth was a little too jumbled for me.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
I
you
really
don't
did like
like
that.
you don't
So
like I know you don't enjoy um really quick timeline jumps.
not in especially not in that respect. I think maybe as like the movies got progressed in decade. So like for example, when we're starting off with Hitchcock, that trying to remember, okay, yes, that's Alfred Hitchcock, but like if he wasn't directly in the room and it was like maybe say like his assistants or someone else regarding the film, like
Mm.
I would forget that those are technically like that's after he's already been convicted and put in jail
Yeah.
because again the time periods are so close.
Mm. Yeah, I feel like I would probably give it I'm between a 6.5 and a 7.
I was gonna say that's kind of where I'm at, and I want to even put it at a 7.5, just because like the acting is so like I want to give the acting itself just a 10 or even an
Oh, the
11 out of
acting,
10
yeah,
because the
10.
acting was
Acting
just
10.
so good.
Wait, have you seen All's Fair?
I started to watch that. I don't know
Oh,
how I feel about it. Um,
yeah.
I don't know if I'm watching it because like hate watching it because it's so bad, or if I'm like
It's like
wanting to
it
give it a chance. I
I thought it
can't.
was gonna be really campy and like in on the joke. And I think some of them acting are in on the joke. Like I think Sarah
Mhm.
Paulson does just an incredible job in anything she's in. Like you could tell her to be your podcast microphone and she would somehow come up with a method for it. And
Yeah.
I'd be like, wow. And I mean, of course, Glenn Close, love it. I just can't do Kim Kardashian's whatever process is happening there.
Yeah, I
I
yeah,
don't
I don't
know
know.
what the process is. That's my
I don't either. The one thing I will say is I wish that we were spending more time on the individual cases. Like I
yes,
wish we were
yes,
getting
yes.
a little more procedural
Yeah. Like a little
in
more
that regard.
CSI.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're
Like
not.
let's go through the evidence. Like I want to hear how she's hiring, some shady private eye,
Yeah.
who's like the best to go like follow some of these dudes,
Yeah.
like
No, instead, Kim Kardashian's character is invested in like going to a party where all these gay men are doing poppers. Or I'm just like, or she's like, oh yeah, you're a pig bottom. I'm like, what is going on here?
that I was
Like,
yeah.
I was like, okay,
Some of the choices that were made in that script,
it's very
they
interesting.
were yeah.
Um, but yeah, I definitely am excited for Mike Flanagan's Stephen King Carrie miniseries. Like
Mm.
Welcome to Derry. I know we could like do whole episode about that, but like, have you been watching that?
Of course I have.
I think that's really well done.
I am obsessed with the tie-in to The Shining so far.
Yep.
Um, Even in this most recent episode, the similarities from Daniel to the other child. I don't want to give
Mhm.
too many spoilers, but like, there is another character in the most recent episode who
Yeah.
has a similar thing to
Yeah.
Danny.
Did you know
But
that
I just love
that's
that.
celebrating 50 years, The Shining?
Really?
Yeah. I
That's
just watched the
insane.
film in its entirety for the first time. It is so incredibly conceived. The score, like cinematography, the acting arc, it's just hands down, it's one of the best psychological horror
Mhm.
ever. Um,
Everything that was put in, like, you can tell almost that, like, I forget who the director is of that film. And I know I should know it.
Stanley Kubrick.
Thank you. I was like, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah.
But you could tell he really cared about that story just as much as Stephen King did. Like to
Yes.
the point where he put his own little touches in this story to add, his mark on it. I don't really feel like you get that much with directors today.
Yeah. I will say too, I love what Brian De Palma does with the original Carrie film with Sissy Spacek.
Mm-hmm.
And wait, isn't Sissy Spacek? She's in something that's coming out. I
Yeah,
feel
no,
like
I
I
think her
just
name
saw
is
her in a
Rimby.
trailer. Yeah, and I'll look it up. But I thought it was a horror film. That's why I thought it was interesting. Um, oh, she's 75. Wow, okay.
Mhm.
Everything's Oh, that's what it's called. Uh she's in Die My Love that I haven't seen yet, but it's
And that's with
the
Jennifer
Jennifer
Lawrence and
Lawrence.
Robert Pattinson, right?
Yep. Yeah. An American psychological drama. I mean, I
Mhm.
love Sissy Spacek in The Help too. Do you remember she's the one whose
Yes.
daughter is such a see you next Tuesday?
Yes.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, you had two pieces of that pie, is what Lawrence just said. Yeah. Oh, Sissy Spacek.
If you know, you know.
I mean, the actors in that film too. Bravo.
Incredible.
Oh, and
Mhm.
Octavia Spencer. She's gonna be in Mama. Wait, Ma too. There you
Are
go.
they making a second one?
I think they are. Yeah,
That'll be good.
yeah.
That'll
I
be
love the
I
first
love
one.
her.
But so much to talk about. I feel like we covered so much, Mary. I love just
I
like
know.
coming on and chatting with you. But yeah, I feel like if it was the Menendez brothers, I watched a little, but then it got very incestuous, sexual acts going on. Yeah. Again, he always like takes it into this like definitely if you're Ryan Murphy's psychiatrist, you have a lot of material to deal
I
with.
hope you write a book about him.
Yes, we
Welcome to Severed, a podcast week dropping new episodes every Monday. Severed True Crime and Severed Paranormal episodes deep dive into murder, mysteries, and the otherworldly in a concise format. A 7-minute story to frame the case with thoughtful analysis and our usual banter.
We sometimes find the lighter side of darker cases. We offer 3 spin-off shows, Severed Strange Stories, Severed Haunted You, and Severed Serial Killers that highlight the unusual to lighthearted topics from the digital dumpsters of true crime, haunted universities, and the minds of madness like Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer.
We are your co-hosts. I'm Harry Chambers.
And I'm Drew Hudson. Listen on all major podcast platforms, including Rogue Media Network and Radio Garden State. Follow us on Instagram at severed_podcast.
we need a Ryan Murphy memoir. Well, maybe not a memoir. We need a biography on Ryan Murphy. Distanced from him. But it's kind of like, could you imagine if there was like Monster, the Dan Schneider story?
Oh God.
Like,
I mean, I'd want to see it.
yeah, but like, I feel like, we've all heard the speculation about Dan Schneider and Amanda Bynes, which is just allegedly, if that is true, horrible.
Yes. I know.
And
Yeah.
the trauma that, I mean, obviously Amanda Bynes has gone through trauma. I mean, whether or not it's because, he violated her and, she was pregnant with his baby is a whole other.
All alleged.
Yes, all alleged. But see, Ryan Murphy, I feel like would just take that and it would be like,
Oh yeah, that would absolutely be.
there would be a whole scene.
That would be the plot. That would be the storyline. That would be everything. Yeah, absolutely, 1,000%. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Who would blame him though? But I mean, again, he's not claiming that what he's putting out there is factually correct.
Yeah.
So.
Wait, and what did happen? Remember when we did our episode on the expose on Dan Schneider?
I think he's still out and about. I don't remember if he's suing or something.
Oh, you
Maybe
think
it's been
he might be
connected.
suing like the quiet on set
Yeah, like for
creators? Oh,
defamation.
wow. Yeah, I'm
But to
looking
be
it
fair,
up.
everyone was kind of, I don't know. I think they did put the disclaimer to be like, look, none of this has been proven in court. This is all alleged, alleged, alleged,
Wow.
alleged, alleged.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely oh yeah, 2024 documentary, Quiet on Set, discussed his toxic workplace behavior. Oh, in 2024 of May, he filed a lawsuit against Warner Brothers and Sony Pictures, claiming the docuseries defamed him. He
Wow.
acknowledged mistakes and oh yes, I remember when he released that like
Yeah.
video.
Yeah. And it was
Gosh.
like, no one wants to look at you.
Yeah, that is true. You know, kind of like the, guy who's in charge thinking he's so powerful, calling a female reporter quiet, or what did he say? Quiet, Miss Piggy.
Oh,
It's
just
like,
Piggy.
oh,
He didn't even offer the respect of a miss.
wow. So, and it's like, okay, uh, we can just point the finger at you.
Mm-hmm.
And you should have said that to yourself.
And
Everything he says is an accusation
I mean,
about himself.
like, I know we've all seen the pictures on Instagram going around between his eye and an actual pig's eye, and people being like, wait a minute, I thought the first was his. Okay.
Oh,
They looked, I mean, it's like Pam from The Office. They're the same picture.
very true. Very true. Um, well, yeah. Ryan Murphy, I'm sure, is going to continue to astound us in his creative choices. It gives us a lot of food for thought. Definitely, I'll tease everyone that Mary and I are collaborating in January on releasing a series, reading an account of what this author is calling bias justice and how he alleges that he was wrongfully convicted. So, you know, we got we got a lot of exposés going on here on the podcast. But Mary, thanks for joining me. I'm so glad you shared your thoughts. I love talking with you about all of this. And of course, getting to see you when I can and even having our horror story when you celebrated my birthday at Creamy Acres and us
Yes.
getting the pants scared out of us. I still tell people about, do you remember when we went into the haunted playground with the clowns and I decided to crawl through like the slide tube thing? I'm telling you, that clown told me that I had to go through that.
I mean, it was fine.
They didn't stop me.
It looked fine.
They were like,
I
oh,
mean,
okay. They're like, he's
I
really
love
into
that you did
this.
that though. That was
And all
great.
of you just walked around the
And
side. I was like, okay.
Lawrence and I walked around and we were like, oh, hey.
There were some really scary moments though. Like the
Yeah.
dark. I don't like when something is pitch black and you have to walk through it.
Yeah, and it's like I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm afraid of the things that I know that are probably in the dark.
Yeah. Or the mist rooms, remember where like half the room was like misty and you had to like
Yeah.
try to like work your way
Trying to
through it.
see.
Yeah. And you knew
It's
that
just
someone was
scary.
hiding somewhere.
Yes. I think for the most part, I tried, like, also to be fair, I was more like in between you and Lawrence. So, like, if yous went, and normally that's when they would jump out. So I was kind of like in the clear most of the time. But man, there
I
was
loved it.
one, used to walked right by. And it was the one time I wasn't checking for a person and they jumped right out at me. It was great. It was
is.
great.
I know we have to do it again next year.
Oh, for sure.
I just love that immersive, having that terror experience. Like I just love being immersed and seeing the props and the sets and just like what they're doing as
Mhm.
actors. I think it's so fascinating.
Me too.
Yeah.
I love it.
I don't know. I'm sure I'm sure there'll be an Ed Gein haunted house soon.
Probably. Probably.
I don't know. That
Right.
could
Actually,
be
if
very
the
disturbing.
Bates motel
Oh
was
yeah.
smart, they would get in on that.
Oh, at Universal. That's a smart idea.
I'm just saying, you know.
I like, oh yeah, Universal should do like an Ed Gein haunted house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think they've done American Horror Story themes.
So I mean, they could do it.
They could do it. No, they could do it. Just and make sure you cast the same actors. We want to see them come to life. Oh my gosh. I'm surprised Ryan Murphy hasn't done like a musical yet on Broadway.
I'm sure it's in the works. I'm sure there's something going in the pipeline.
I'm
And
sure.
we'll hear about it whenever it's good and ready.
I'm sure. Well, everyone, tune into Mary's True Crime and Academia. Tune into the ITBR interviews, and we'll see you next time.
We'll see you later.